one of the things that he explains is that the storytelling gives to the teacher opportunities to help the learners to develop them in a variety of ways. Also, that there are a lot of stories that contain a lot of teaching materials that can benefit the overall development of the child, including language learning. And also that there is a need for teachers to plan work with clear language. First of all, when we want to do an activity in a class that we are going to do a storytelling, it's very important the disposition of the teacher and the pupils, because if you want to do something like this, they have to be in a place where they can see clearly where are you and the book that you are showing. No? It's very important they can listen well the story, or they can see well the different albums that we have that can be in different formats. And also it's very important that we choose a nice story, because we have a very huge variety of pupils in our class. So we have to choose a story that cannot bother anybody, because okay, we have different cultures, for example, and it's very important that we start with them. Okay? Sorry. Like this? Okay. Before we decide which book or which stories we are going to tell to the students, it's very important that we make ourselves some questions, because storytelling it can be a part of the planning of the whole course, but it can be that we use it to explain some parts of the syllabus, or it also can be an activity apart, completely apart, that there's nothing to do with the things that we are studying on that time. For this, it will be interesting if we make some questions to ourselves as teachers. Why do we include storybooks in our lessons? It will be the function of these storybooks. How we select them, because there's a range, a wide variety of them, to serve in a better way the particular needs of the learners, or we do in one moment or another, and also to understand the different sorts of storybooks we can use in the different moments of the class. Okay. Using stories can offer opportunities to help students to manage their own learning, but it can be also a vehicle to develop different things. No? Some of these things can be thinking strategies, or strategies for language learning, or also strategies for study skills. When I say thinking strategies, or when the article says thinking strategies, is talking about that when we are explaining a story to the students, one of the activities or the things that they do when they listen to the story would be, for example, comparing things that they know and that they start knowing at that moment, or sequencing or hypothesizing, making hypotheses of things that they know in this moment. On the other side, the strategies for language learning will be that they are training their memory and also guessing the meaning of new words. Okay? And finally, strategies for study skills is that the understanding of the story that they can make things what they have learned, like thinking the percentage of things and to see the differences that they can find between one thing and another. Okay. But I haven't said that before we start the storytelling session, it would be very nice to make I said the disposition of the students, but also it's very interesting to prepare the students for the vocabulary that they are going to listen and they are going to learn, because if not, it's like if we want to make an English session that we don't speak any word in our language, so it will be very interesting that they know before the words that we are going to listen in this story. Okay? Okay, when we, as you, Roberta said, almost something like this, and when we use a story or we tell a story, we give the opportunity also not to learn only something about language, but not also about other topics that or subjects that they use in the school or they have to learn in the school. This will be, for example, maths. Okay, when we are explaining a story, a lot of times we make them to count things. No? For example, okay, how many frogs do we have here in this, for example, in this story? No, they count, and also sometimes we have to tell the time or measure things. In science, we could say that we work, for example, the habitats of animals, no? Or we learn about the different animals that we can find in the jungle, if it's a tale that happens in the jungle. Or geography, for example, because we know things about other environments. History, because we also can learn things about human development and historical elements also. On the other side, we have arts and crafts and music and drama, because arts and crafts, we can, when we have been working in storytelling, also we can do an after work that can be making masks or making puppets or collages or other sort of arts and craft activities. Also music and drama, because when we teach, when we explain a storybook, we also can teach a song, for example, or readings or a role play or whatever. Or also physical education, because sometimes they have to move, they have to dance, these are different activities they have to do. Then they give 5 orientations for using stories in English as a foreign language classroom. That they say, for example, that you can find different sort of books or materials in a bookstore, for example. No, we have books, very big books, or student-field books that they are very interesting, or picture books that they have no written anything, at least almost, but it's a for very young learners, it's very nice because with just the images they can learn a lot of things with the help of the teacher. Also, there are a lot of genres of stories. There is poetry, there is rhyme, there are folk information books. This will be also 5 orientations for using the stories in an EFL classroom. That will be a little bit that I have been telling before, that when we use storytelling in one class, it can be useful for other things or to learn about other topics, but also here we have that it's very nice to develop the critical awareness, because when we ask them questions about the story, they can improve their critical awareness, and they can give their opinion, which is very nice when we explain things. Okay, but also we can develop projects from one storytelling, and also it is nice for their curriculum links, that it can affect to something related to mathematics and arts and crafts, story, science, whatever. Okay, this will be explanation of all I wanted to say, and I brought 2 books that I think you know as an example of what I said. This is Elmer, as you see, from David McKee, and this is a very nice book. It's a story about an elephant, but he's very different from the other ones. The other ones are gray, and he has a lot of colors. So he wants to be like the others. Well, it explains the story that I think that here there's a thought, no, that is very interesting to give to the pupils, that for the importance of being different than the others, you know, because at the end they want him as like he is or how he is. They don't want him to change. Yeah, the elephant. So everyone can you can have a look. And also is the thing that I told you that in a tale we can see the habitat where they live, for example, the elephants, or we can know more about different topics. And